There's also a feeling, a fervor that's building, especially in Silicon Valley, aligned with the scaling laws idea, where there's this hype where the world will be transformed on a scale of weeks, and you want to be at the center of it. And then, I have this great fortune of having conversations with a wide variety of human beings. And from there, I get to see all these bubbles and echo chambers across the world. And it's fascinating to see how we humans form them. And I think it's fair to say that Silicon Valley is a kind of echo chamber, a kind of silo and bubble. I think bubbles are actually really useful and effective. It's not necessarily a negative thing because it could be ultra productive. It could be the Steve Jobs reality distortion field because you just convince each other the breakthroughs are imminent, and by convincing each other of that, you make the breakthroughs imminent.
Mm-hmm. Bern Hobart wrote a book classifying bubbles, but essentially one of them is financial bubbles, which is like speculation, which is bad. And the other one is like, I don't know the term, but effectively for build outs because it pushes people to build these things. And I do think AI is in this, but I worry about it transitioning to a financial bubble, which is like, it's.
Yeah, but also in the space of ideas, that bubble, you are doing a reality distortion field, and that means you are deviating from reality. And if you go too far from reality, while also working, 996, and you might miss some fundamental aspects of the human experience, including in Silicon Valley. And this is a common problem in Silicon Valley. It's a very specific geographic area. You might not understand the Midwest perspective, the full experience of all the other different humans in the United States and across the world, and you speak a certain way to each other, you convince each other of a certain thing, and that can get you into real trouble. Whether AI is a big success and becomes a powerful technology, or it's not, in either trajectory, you can get yourself into trouble. So you have to consider all of that. Here you are, a young person trying to decide what you want to do with your life.
The thing that is, I don't even really understand this, but the SF AI memes have gotten to the point where permanent underclass was one of them, which was the idea that the last 6 months of 2025 was the only time to build a durable value in an AI startup or model. Otherwise, all the value will be captured by existing companies and you will therefore be poor, which, like, that's an example of the SF thing that goes so far. I still think for young people that going to be able to tap into it, if you are really passionate about wanting to have an impact in AI, like being physically in SF is the most likely place where you're going to do this, but it has trade-offs.
I think SF is an incredible place, but there is a bit of a bubble. And if you go into that bubble, which is extremely valuable, just get out also. Read history books, read literature, visit other places in the world. Twitter is not, and Substack is not the entire world.
I think I would say one of the people I worked with is moving to SF, and it's like I need to get him a copy of The Season of the Witch, which is a history of SF from like 1960 to 1985, which goes through like the hippie revolution, like all the gays kind of taking over the city and that culture emerging, and then the HIV/AIDS crisis and other things. And it's just like that is so recent and so much turmoil and hurt, but also like love in SF. And it's like no one knows about this. It's a great book, Season of the Witch. I recommend it. A bunch of my SF friends who do get out recommended it to me, and I think that it's just like living there. Like I lived there and I didn't appreciate this context, and it's just like so recent.